Namaste everyone, welcome to today's practice. Finding yourself in a comfortable seated position on your mat, and gently closing the eyes, drawing the awareness inwards. Connecting here to your breath, taking a long inhale through the nose into the belly, deep exhalation. Checking in with the mind now, noticing if it feels busy or cluttered, and trying with each exhale to release and untangle another thought. It is always much easier to notice physical feelings, aches and pains, but often we forget to notice how we feel inside our minds, and that is equally as important. Today we will move slowly and consciously, allowing ourselves to notice how we feel in each posture. So when you're ready, swinging your legs out straight in front of you, big toes pointing towards the face, drawing the pinky toes in, and bending that right leg, knee towards you, interlacing your fingers behind the right thigh, and gently drawing some circles with the big toe. Movement starting from the ankle, 3 times one direction, and then when you're ready, switching 3 times the other side, keeping the left foot flexed towards you, keeping the sternum shining bright, and coming back to stillness, pointing that right toe. And we're going to draw those circles again, but this time the movement's starting from the knee. So 3 times one way. It feels a bit funny, but it's important to warm up the knees, especially when we're going to be doing some hip opening today. Coming to stillness now, and on an inhale, stretching that leg out nice and long. Exhale, releasing it down. Inhale, stretching it out long, trying to bring it a little closer towards you with the hands. Exhale, releasing it down. One last time, this time reaching a little higher, pulling that leg nice and close. Exhale to release. Right leg coming down to meet the left. And we're going to swap sides, so interlacing your fingers behind your left thigh, right toe is flexed. And drawing those circles with the ankle again. Connecting to the breath still, keeping those nice long inhales and exhales. And then switching directions. Coming back to stillness once you've done your 3 rounds. We're going to draw the circles with the knee now. Imagine your big toe drawing big circles in front of you. And switching direction. Coming back to stillness now. And on the inhale, we're going to raise that left leg up, straightening the leg. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, pulling it a little closer towards you. Exhale, release. Last time. Inhale to pull it just that little bit closer this time. And exhale, releasing down. Have a little shake out. Finding that tallness in your spine. And from here, we're going to bend the right knee in, hugging it towards the chest, and then gently dropping it out to the side. You can hold onto your right foot with your left hand and your knee with your right hand. And we're just going to gently rock from side to side. If you have the flexibility in your hips, you can tuck your right knee into your right elbow and your foot into your left elbow crease. Either way is fine. We're just having a little bit of movement to gently warm up and open up our hips. Keeping the chest bright. A few more rocks here. Gently coming to stillness, drawing that knee back into your chest first to protect the knee, and then straightening the right leg out. Shake it out a little bit once again, and we're going to move to the left side. Hugging that left knee in first, dropping it out to the side. And again, choosing your option, either holding onto the foot with the right hand and holding the knee with the left, or if you can reach on this side, tucking the knee and foot into the elbow creases and gently rocking from side to side. Spine is still long and straight. Feeling that gentle openness in the left outer hip here. And when you're ready, dropping that left foot down, drawing the knee in first, and then stretching the leg out long, having a little shake out. from here, we're going to cross our legs, making sure that the right leg is in front. So we're crossing the left leg in nice and close, right leg out in front, so the right foot's in front of the left. Inhale to sit nice and tall through the spine, and exhale, we're going to creep our fingers forwards away from us. Inhaling again to lengthen, and exhale, rolling down a little bit more, allowing the head to rest on the mat. Letting go for a moment here. You might already be feeling a bit of a stretch in the outer hips. Just rooting down through those sit bones, and we're going to gently walk over to the left side with our hands. Walking our hands out diagonally to the left, taking an inhale to lengthen, exhale, rolling down once again. This should really be opening the right outer hip and the right side body, sending your breath to where you feel the stretch to create that space. And if you're not feeling much here, you can drop your right hand on top of your left to open up a little bit further. Connecting to that deep breath once again with each exhale, letting go, sinking a little lower, rooting through that right sit bone. And gently coming back to center with the hands, crawling your hands back up, finding a neutral spine. And we're going to swap our legs now so that the left foot's in front of the right. Take a moment to sit here, noticing if there's any difference in one side of the body or the other. If you need to shake your knees out a little bit first, go ahead. And then coming back to cross legs, left foot in front of right this time. Inhale, finding length. Exhale, walking those hands away from you. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, rooting through the sit bones. Exhale, releasing down. Trying to relax into this posture, finding that sweet spot between effort and comfort. And then when you're ready, crawling your hands over to the right side. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhale, drawing down, forehead towards the mat. Breathing into that space between the left ribs. Feeling that nice sweet stretch in the left outer hip. And again, if you're not feeling much from this, you can drop your left hand on top of your right to create a bit more space and openness here. Trying not to hold on to any tension, breathing into it and releasing down. Gently crawling your hands back to center and walking them back up, finding that neutral spine. Checking in with the body once again, noticing if you're feeling a bit more balanced and equal, a bit more open now. Close the eyes if you like and just really feel where you are in this moment, reminding yourself to stay present, keeping the mind calm. Draw your legs back out in front of you, give them a little shake out, really making sure the knees are doing okay. We're going to cross our legs in, roll over the knees, coming into our tabletop position. The wrists are stacked directly under the shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, knees stacked under hips, checking back that your big toes are not in sight, keeping that spine nice and straight. We're going to push our weight into our left knee now, starting to draw big circles with our right knee, really opening up the hip. Inhale, we're going to open out to the side, drawing that circle. Exhale, drawing it back down. Inhaling to open, exhaling it down 3 times. And then gently swapping the direction. Inhaling to open the other way, drawing the circles with the knee the other way. 3 times with your breath, coming back to tabletop. Checking your alignment, shifting the weight into the right knee now. And we're going to do the same on the left side. So bring the left knee up, opening that hip out to the side, drawing a big circle, inhaling to open, exhaling to close 3 times here. And once you've done your 3, switching direction once again. Really finding that movement, finding that openness in the hips. keeping the fingers spread nice and wide, and gently returning back to tabletop. Checking in with your alignment, we're going to raise the left leg out towards the back, keeping the left foot flexed as if you're pressing it against the wall behind you. And on an inhale, raise your right hand up in front of you, thumb towards the sky, gaze toward the fingertips. Exhale, drawing the left knee to the left elbow, engaging the core. Inhale to find length. Exhale, rounding everything in, drawing the navel towards the spine. Inhale, finding length, kicking that left foot back. Exhale, returning to tabletop. Now we're going to raise the right leg up behind us, flexing that right foot as if you're kicking a wall away from you behind you. Inhale to raise the left arm up, one line of energy from heel to fingertips. Exhale, rounding in, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, opening up, stretching through the fingertips, finding length. Exhale, rounding in, squeezing tight. Inhaling to open up, finding length all the way through the spine, and exhaling to release, planting the hand back down, planting the knee back down. From here, we're going to shift our weight back, sitting down onto our heels, stretching our arms out in front of us, finding our Balasana, our first child's pose. Releasing down into the mat, noticing how the body's feeling after these first few movements. Checking in with the mind once again, seeing if it's still busy or if you've managed to let go of some thoughts. Reminding ourselves to remain present. We're going to inhale, slowly round the spine up so we're sitting on our heels. Exhale, release the shoulders down. Then gently drop over to one side. Swinging your legs back out in front of you. Finding our staff bent knees, knees pointing towards the sky, feet flat on the mat. Now gently dropping the left shin down. Coming into fire log pose, we're going to pop the right foot on top of the left knee. Sitting tall through the spine, rooting down through the sit bones. Making sure that the knees are comfortable here, flexing both feet to protect the knees. We're going to gently crawl forwards. You might not come very far. Just move until you feel that first point of resistance in the outer hips. Take an inhale, make sure you lengthen up, shining that chest forwards. And then on the next exhale, rounding down, feeling the stretch through the back of the neck and the upper back. If you can drop your elbows down to the mat, that's fine. Otherwise, staying where you are, really sending the breath to where you feel the stretch, where you feel the tension, breathing into it, releasing down. Trying not to fight anything here, trying to find that perfect balance. And gently we're going to roll back up, untangle the legs, put your hands out behind you, and if you want to just wimble your legs from side to side, realigning the hips here. Slowly coming back to stillness. We're going to drop the right shin down this time, placing the left foot on top of the right knee, checking that the knees are feeling okay, flexing both feet, inhaling tall through the spine and exhale, rounding down nice and slowly. Take that one inhale to stretch and lengthen through the spine again, and then exhale, release everything down to the mat in front of you. We hold and store a lot of emotions in our hips. So allow yourself to feel whatever emotions come flooding through now. Try not to fight them, trying to observe them, and with each exhale, trying to surrender to them a little bit more, trying to let them go, releasing them down into the mat beneath you, letting go of what doesn't serve you. One more inhale here, and exhale. See if you can release just that little bit more. for the last breath before inhaling to roll back up nice and slowly. Placing your hands behind you, untangling the legs. And again, if you want to, just wimble your legs from side to side. Coming back to stillness, maybe stretching your legs out long, gently closing the eyes just for a moment. You might be feeling some little buzz of energy running through you now. You might be feeling some emotions running through you. Just taking this time with the eyes closed to feel what's going on with you. From here, we're going to flex our toes now towards the face, drawing the pinky in again, sitting up nice and tall. Open the eyes if you want to, and bending forwards from the hips. We're going to come into our Paschimottanasana, grabbing onto the shins, ankles, or taking the big toes with the peace fingers. We're going to inhale to lengthen up through the spine, rooting down through the sit bones. And exhale, folding over the legs, elbows come outwards. If you prefer at this point to take more of a yin pose, you can just relax and round the spine down, rounding the head onto the shins. Otherwise, if you prefer to keep this pose active, gazing towards the toes, keeping the elbows pointing outwards, engaging through the quads, lifting the kneecaps to release the hamstrings. Connecting deeply to that breath, breathing into the belly. We're going to take one more inhale here. So on the next exhale, see if you can release a little bit more before slowly rounding the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Stacking the vertebrae on top of each other, coming back to Dandasana. From here, we're going to draw the soles of our feet to touch. Bringing our knees out to the side, sitting nice and tall. Wrapping your hands around your toes, and we're just gently going to butterfly our legs, creating a bit of movement, opening up the hips a little bit more. You can smile here if you want to. Sitting nice and tall again. We're going to open our feet up like we're reading a book. Leading with the chest. Taking an inhale to lengthen, and exhale, we're going to fold over the feet. Coming forwards over the feet. Keeping the sit bones rooting down. Maybe you don't come very far. That's fine. You can option to just keep pulling the chest down forwards in front of you. Or if you want to release a little bit more, you can round the spine, drawing the head down towards the mat. It's up to you. Whichever version you feel like helps you let go more, just go ahead and take that. One last exhale to release a little lower, and on the inhale we're going to round up very slowly, making sure there's no feedback from the lower back. Rounding back up in your own time, taking hold of your knees with each hand, drawing them in to close. Hugging your knees in now, dropping the head down onto the knees, drawing that energy back in towards you. Basing this practice today on your physical, emotional, and mental condition in this moment. Allowing yourself to feel what needs to be felt. And when you're ready, releasing the knees. We're going to do a quick counter pose for those forward folds. Planting your hands behind you, stretching the feet out long, lifting the hips up towards the sky, maybe dropping the head back if it feels good. Pushing the hips towards the sky just for a moment more, and then exhale, releasing the hips back down. Crossing the legs again, rolling over the knees, coming into our tabletop, tucking the toes and shifting back to downward facing dog. Fingertips are spread wide, feet hip distance apart, hips pointing towards the sky. The spine is long. Feel free to gently pedal your feet out, bending one knee at a time, creating a bit of extra length, realigning the hips here. Equal weight between the hands and the feet. Coming back to stillness. Finding rest in this pose. We're going to take an inhale now together, raising our right leg up, finding three-legged dog, hips are square. And then exhale to bend the right knee, opening the hips now, keeping the shoulders in line with the mat. Breathing into where you feel that stretch, allowing the hips to be nice and open. And then gently coming back to square hips, stretching the leg out long. Inhale, drawing the right knee to the right elbow, the right foot to the left wrist. Dropping down, we're going to come into a version of pigeon now. We're going to do a slightly modified version, so the heel is going to be nice and close to the body. Gently crawl that left foot away from you a little bit more. Trying to keep the hips square to the front. Feeling that nice opening in the left hip flexor and the right outer hip. Flexing the right foot to protect the knee. Inhale, opening up the chest. Settling here for a moment. And if it feels good, only if it feels like you can, otherwise staying where you are, you can gently crawl down onto your elbows. Trying to keep those hips nice and square. If you want to round your head down again, surrendering here. Really trying to let go of any tension, not holding tightness where you feel the stretch. With each exhale, trying to let go of that tightness. Trying to release any stiffness and tightness in the body. If you've reached your first point of tension, you can try and creep your hands a little bit further away, making sure that there's nothing bad coming from the knee. And then gently, when you're ready, we're going to walk our hands back up. Maybe you'll notice that you feel a little bit looser here already from when you first came into this posture. And then planting your hands firmly into the mat, untucking that left toe, pressing through the left toes, lifting up into our three-legged dog. Kicking the right leg towards the sky and just kicking it out a little bit, shaking it out, bringing that squareness back to the hips. And dropping the right leg down, finding our Adho Mukha Svanasana again, and maybe just walking out the legs, walking out the feet, realigning the hips. Finding stillness, and then on an inhale, raising the left leg towards the sky. Exhale to open, bending the left knee, dropping the foot over to the side, opening up that hip. Coming back to center when you're ready, three-legged dog, exhaling to round the spine, drawing that left ankle to the right wrist and the left knee to the left wrist. I'm going to take the modification by bringing that left heel towards the body. Gently walking that right foot away from you a little bit further, squaring the hips, sitting nice and tall here, settling into this posture. Breathing into where you're feeling the stretch, letting go of any tightness, letting go of any tension, not squeezing any muscles here. And if you feel like you want to, if the knees feel fine, the hips feel fine, you can gently walk down onto your elbows, releasing the forehead down towards the mat. And feeling a sense of letting go as you loosen and breathe into any tension. The aim of the practice is to stay calm in the mind, even amidst all of the chaos. Letting go of the busyness of your life just for a few minutes. And when you're ready, you can crawl your hands back up, Maybe you're feeling looser again in this side. Tucking that right toe under now, pressing through the hands, lifting the left leg up to our three-legged dog and shaking that leg out a little bit. Loosening it up again, dropping down into Adho Mukha Svanasana and pedaling out those feet one more time. Coming back to stillness here. We're going to drop our knees down, shift our weight back onto our heels, finding our Balasana again. If you want to bring your knees nice and close together and drop your hands alongside the body, coming into a resting Balasana, go ahead and do so. It's your time to really let go, really check in with the mind and the body. Maybe noticing if you feel any different from the last time we were in this posture. Slowly bringing your hands back out in front of you, tucking your toes once again. We're going to shift back into downward facing dog one more time. Connecting to that breath. On the inhale, we raise our right leg up. Exhale, we're going to draw the right foot to the outside of the right hand, dropping the left knee down, untucking the left toes. Sternum shining forwards. Maybe this is where we're going to stay. Feeling that nice deep stretch in the left hip flexor. If you feel like you can, feel free again to drop down onto your elbows. Otherwise, staying where you are is completely fine. We're here to find that balance between comfort and effort. We don't want to push ourselves too far. We just want to feel that nice stretch, that nice release. When you're ready, cool your hands back up, untuck that toe. We're going to step back into our downward facing dog, pedal out the feet once again, realigning the hips. And on inhale, raise the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, stepping that left foot to the outside of the left hand, dropping the right knee down, untucking the right toe. Sternum shining forwards. Trying to draw that knee in towards the body, that left knee. Noticing where you feel the stretch, seeing if you can relax a little bit more into it. And again, if you feel like you can, feel free to drop your elbows down to the mat, rounding your head down. Releasing everything that no longer serves you into the mat beneath you. Taking one last exhale. And on an inhale, we're going to walk back up, untucking that right toe, lifting up the hips, stepping back, downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet out again if you want to. Dropping the knees down, big toes touching. We're going to come to sitting on our heels. Gently drop to one side, drawing your legs out in front of you. We're going to come to lying down in a supine position on our mat. Take a moment to relax here, noticing what's going on in your body right now. What we're going to do is step our feet out nice and wide, knees are bent towards the sky, and gently magnet the knees into each other. The knees are touching, the feet are mat width apart. Drawing the energy back in after all of that opening. You can rest one hand on your belly and one on your chest to help you connect to your breath now. Really letting go, trying to let go of any tension in the body. Now we're going to draw our right leg over our left, flexing both feet, bringing the knees towards you, trying to grab hold of each feet with the hands. Not forcing anything here, just relaxing the hands on the feet. Really drawing that energy back in. Keeping the breath slow and controlled, we're going to untangle the legs and now draw the left leg over the right, drawing the knees towards the face, trying to keep that lower back grounded, holding on to the flexed feet with each hand. Just gently drawing the knees towards the face, not forcing anything. Finding our reclined Gomukhasana. But this is more of a yin style pose. We're not pulling here, we're just letting go. Gently untangling the legs again. We're going to draw our knees outside of our ribs, coming into happy baby, holding onto the feet with the hands. Gently rock from side to side if it feels good, trying to keep the lower back grounded. Allowing your body to initiate the movement, not overthinking anything here. If you want to cycle your legs out a little bit to try and realign those hips a little bit more. And then bending the knees in. We're going to draw the legs, drop the knees over to the right side. Finding a very gentle twist here. Stretching the left arm out nice and long, gazing towards the left hand. If you want to deepen the stretch a little bit, you can rest your right hand on your left knee. And when you're ready, switching the side, drawing the knees in, dropping them over to the left side, gaze toward the right hand, left hand on right knee. Coming back to center now, we're going to squeeze our legs in nice and tight, hugging the knees into the face, squeezing for a moment, really feeling yourself nice and tight in a little ball. And exhale, we're going to release everything down to the mat beneath us. Allowing the legs to fall nice and wide, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Allowing the breath to become natural. Gently closing the eyes. Checking in with the body, scanning through the body, from the crown of the head through to the toes. Seeing if you can release any remaining tension, if you're holding any tightness anywhere. With each breath, see if you can let that go. And checking in with the mind now. Seeing if it's feeling any less cluttered, if it's any calmer, if you manage to let go of the busyness of life for a moment. And keeping with that, observing this, observing how you're feeling now, but not holding on to it. With each breath, just try and let go. Feel free to pause the video and remain in your Shavasana as long as you need. But if you're moving with me, gently draw the awareness back to the breath. Find some movement in the fingertips and toes. And maybe bring your hands over your head, interlace your fingertips, finding that nice full body stretch. Stretching everything out as if you've just woken up in the morning. And then gently releasing and rolling over to your favorite side, allowing the spine to round, hugging the knees in nice and tight, showing some compassion towards yourself. And when you're ready, coming up to a seated position once again, keeping the eyes closed. Maybe noticing how you feel in this same position we started in after your asana practice. Drawing your hands together in front of the heart center, bowing your head towards your hands, showing some gratitude towards yourself for showing up and being present today. Dropping your hands down to the mat in front of you, bowing your head down, thanking this earth for carrying you here. Gently rounding back up, fluttering the eyes open. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me.